What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and it's time for race number 6 of the first season of NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, also the second race out of 3 in the Tennessee trifecta. I'm Levi McIntyre, the voice of NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Bojangles 500 here at Tennessee Superspeedway as we are about to go 30 laps of racing here at this restrictor play racetrack in Mountain, Tennessee. So before we get started, let's look at the point standings coming into the race today. Joshua Collard leads by 15 points over Tanner Sullivan, and then third is Matt Skoenberger, fourth is Anthony McCrory, fifth Rafael Leduc, sixth is John Cittadino, seventh is Kev Shearer, eighth James McLeod, ninth Dylan Young, 10th Kyle Matthews. Rest of the top 20 is Charles Sanford, Dorian Facepuncher, Chase Oliver, Carson Gum, Austin LaPlante, David Rivera, DJ Curtis, Devin Becker, Dylan Thoreau, and Preston Blord. So with that said, let's look at the lineup. Starting in the last row is going to be Benjamin Miles and Jake Baskinger. Top 10, Chris Michaels is on the pole for today. Starting next to him is Jonathan Zorleen. Row 2 is Dylan Young and DJ Curtis. Row 3, Sean Henley, Austin LaPlante. Row 4, 2 Retro Racing Enterprise teammates, John Cittadino and Charles Sanford. And then row 5, Dylan Thoreau and Dorian Facepuncher. So with that said, let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines here at Tennessee Superspeedway.
Riders, start your engines!
Quite exciting there. But the cars are going to be rolling for their one pace lap here around this racetrack. And this racetrack is really wide, so 5 wide if they want to go risky and try to go 5 wide, they can do that. There is a way to do that and not crash. But 6 wide, I've never seen 6 wide here at this racetrack, so it's going to be interesting to see excuse me, if that will happen in this race or not. But there are a lot of guys in this field that is hungry to get to victory lane and or trying to close in on the points lead. Tanner Sullivan in particular, only being 15 points out, is trying to get to that points lead after the momentum Joshua Collard has had so far this season, as the pace car is in pit road, which means we're getting ready to go green as they're coming to the restart box. And so with that said, boogity boogity boogity, let's go racing. Well, that concludes lap number 1, and Austin LaPlante in the 5 led that lap, so he's going to get some valuable bonus points for leading that lap. After all, with the bonus points system, I believe it's 5 for leading a lap, 15 for leading the most laps. So, interesting to see what happens. And speaking of points, here comes Joshua Collard in the 43, who won the Daytona 500, as well as Atlanta a couple weeks ago. He's looking to go for 3 wins already here in the first 6 races of the season. Sky Commons in the 41, tucking in line behind in 3rd. Seth Cole and Sean Henley, so they got a 5-train formation. Oh, and we got a crash! That was Tim Walsh that went around, and he's going to slide back up. No caution, we stay green, since he didn't collect any other car. That kind of split up a little bit of the field, but they're still running. That separated quite a few cars. Sean Galligan, Trent Dunham, Benjamin Miles, Jessica Sheldon, Dylan Poteet, and JT Bryant. They got separated from everyone else in front of them after what happened to Tim Walsh. But luckily, Tim Walsh didn't hit nothing, I believe. Let's see. Looks pretty much intact on... Oh, he got a little bit of right side damage, but he appears to be running okay. But anyways, Austin LaPlante leads here at Tennessee Superspeedway. As we got a battle going on for second. Last week's winner at Bristol, Devin Becker in the 84. Running in the 2nd position. Then underneath him is James McLeod. And McLeod comes into this race 8th in points. He fell from the top 5, so he's definitely looking to get some momentum. Right behind him, Joshua Michaels. So you got 2 out of the 4 Red Bull racing cars running in the top 10 right now. I don't know. I can't remember if Dougie Shears made this race or not. Let's double check. No, he didn't. And Anthony McCurry's the only other Red Bull racing car in the field. Let's see where he's running by comparison. There he is, running very much in the back, as they are 4 wide for a couple rows. As Austin LaPlante so far has led every single lap here today at Tennessee Superspeedway. And Dylan Poteet got left hanging after the incident with Tim Walsh, in which I'm still surprised that didn't bring out a caution, but luckily, I guess since everyone got away from it, there was no need for the caution, so I guess that's that then. Right behind Austin LaPlante is Nathan Hudson, and he's going to leave him hanging, and he's going to go for the lead. Our first major lead change so far today. Nathan Hudson in the 7 for Retro Racing Enterprises. And speaking of Retro Racing Enterprises, in comes Charles Sanford in the 03 Vanilla Coke car. The Vanilla Coke Chevy. Now he's going to make it 3 wide for the lead. Can he actually get to that point to lead a lap and get 5 bonus points? I don't know. It looked like LaPlante had it. And I think he did. And it's still 3 wide for the top spot. And I see 5 wide with Nelson Thornhill, Steven Guerrero, Joshua Collard, and it was Chase Oliver and Nick Gunther for a moment. As it's still 3 wide for the race lead. And oh, we got a crash! 3 cars were involved, and it looked like it was Dylan Young, and I think it was Nelson Thornhill and Sky Commons. Not entirely too sure. I do know that the 2... No, it was Matt Skoenberger. My apologies. Matt Skoenberger, Dylan Young, and Sky Commons all crashed hard into the outside walls. We have a new leader, David Rivera. And he leads that lap under caution. Oh, and they crashed again! What in the world just happened? That took out 4 cars. Seth Cole, Sean Henley, Jonathan Zorline, and Steven Guerrero. a follow-up wreck as they were coming to the caution. David Rivera leads on lap number 8 under caution. Let's go ahead and, as we're slowing down here, let's go ahead and take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the first time today here at Tennessee Superspeedway. Well, here's a look at what happened. This was going down a straightaway, and I'm not sure if... Oh, it looked like Dylan Young came up into Sky Commons a little bit, and then they come up into third in points Matt Skoenberger. I'm not sure if there was prior contact between those two cars or not, but that looked, oh, maybe right there. Sky Commons comes down and hits the two in the right side, and then Dylan Young gets him back, but unfortunately it takes out the 80 car as a result, and then right there Dylan Young gets another hit into that door. But I don't know, I think Dylan Young got the least amount of damage in that whole mess. As we take a look and see what happens to the 80. Yeah, he hit the rear end hard into the outside wall, though Sky Commons didn't get as much damage. Maybe Sky Commons got through it a little bit less. But now we're going to watch and see what in the world happened when they got to the line between the 52 to 57, 87, and 8. Oh, they were trying to stay 5 wide. And right here, it looks like as if both Sean Henley and Jonathan Zorleen just collided. Like, Henley came down, Zorleen came up, and they just collide with Seth Cole and Steven Guerrero. Although Seth Cole, I think, was the lucky driver in that whole deal, because all he got was some scrapes. Didn't really have a hard impact or nothing. It was right there after Steven Guerrero hit the wall pretty hard. It just ricocheted the 52 around, but the 52, other than that little hit right there into Sean Henley, don't think he's going to really have too much damage as a result. Now, I think I saw Citadino get involved here. I don't think so. No, I thought he hit the 8 because I saw the 8 was just still spinning, but guess he didn't hit him, so lucky break for the 72 of Citadino. But that was the end result of all the chaos that time. So let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Tennessee. Well, after that first caution, we have only one car, I believe. Yeah, one car out of the race, and that is Steven Guerrero. So, tough break for the 8 car out of Team Heel Motorsports. But 4 cars staying out. Maybe some strategy for later in the race in case a caution were to come out again. But Dylan Thoreau is your leader. Second is Joshua Michaels. Third is Sean Galligan. Fourth, Jessica Shelton. Fifth is Austin LaPlante. Sixth, Nathan Hudson. Seventh, Anthony McCrory. Eighth, Charles Sanford. Ninth, Connor Morgan. 10th, Nelson Thornhill. 11th will be David Rivera. 12th will be his teammate, Rafael LeDuc. 13th, Tanner Sullivan. 14th is Jake Baskinger. 15th, Joshua Collard. 16th is Kyle Keith. 17th, Preston Plord. 18th, James Qualls. 19th, Devin Becker. 20th is Kev Shearer. 21st is Carson Gum. 22nd, Kyle Matthews. 23rd, Benjamin Miles. 24th, Chase Oliver. 25th, Trent Dunham. 26th, JT Bryant. 27th will be Johnny Gardner. 28th, James McLeod. 29th, DJ Curtis. 30th, John Citadino. 31st will be Dorian Facepuncher. 32nd, Chris Michaels. 33rd, Dylan Poteet. 34th, Sean Henley. 35th, Tim Walsh. 36th, Jonathan Zorleen. 37th, Seth Cole. 38th, Sky Commons. 39th, Dylan Young. And then more cars are in pit road. Nick Gunther's in pit road, and also Matt Skoenberger's out of the race. But the green flag is back out. Dylan Thoreau is your leader but not everybody got lined up in time. Not sure what happened to Nick Gunther to put him on pit road, or was there an incident on pit road? Perhaps? I don't know. But I don't see any other damaged race car. Maybe it could have been with Seth Cole? I don't know. But it's really bizarre as to what's happened to Nick Gunther. But back up at the front, Joshua Michaels has the lead now. As meanwhile, a couple of the Retro Racing Enterprise cars trying to work their way up to the front. Charles Sanford and Nathan Hudson, but Hudson's stuck up high. Jessica Sheldon, another one of those drivers, in the top 10. So 3 out of 3 Retro Racing Enterprise cars currently in the top 10 right now on track. There's a couple others that we haven't really talked about. Like I said, Cittadino is one of them, and then the other one, James Qualls in the 70. He's kind of laying low a little bit, trying to stay out of trouble. But we'll see if that strategy plays out, as David Rivera, who led before the caution came out, he's trying to get back up to the front, but Tanner Sullivan, the guy who's trying to take the points lead from Joshua Collard, he's now up to the front with Preston Plord behind him, but Nelson Thornhill in the 78 Furniture Row Toyota trying to get in there. Jessica Sheldon, Rafael LeDuc, bunch of cars kind of zigzagging the bottom. But Tanner Sullivan still hanging on to the top position on the racetrack. And Nick Gunther is still sitting on pit road. It's really bizarre circumstances for the 18 to be stuck on pit road. As anyways, Nelson Thornhill pulls down low to go for the top spot on the track with Carson Gum, a fellow Toyota, actually an affiliate of Nelson Thornhill, Carson Gum in the 19, because the Furniture Row and Joe Gibbs racing teams are associated with one another, so they're technically teammates. As Carson Gum goes to the front, and here comes the pole sitter, Chris Michaels. Oh yeah, and another Retro Racing Enterprise car, Kyle Matthews in the 09, trying to work his way into the picture as well, running second in line on the bottom. And, oh, we got another crash! Oh, and I think that I saw Joshua Collard get a piece of it. It was Charles Sanford and Dylan Thoreau that got spun around. Joshua Collard, I think he just got forced up the track. I don't think he really hit anything. But the caution is out on the track after that crash, as Chris Michaels has the lead, trying to get 5 bonus points for leading a lap, and he's already got, I think, 10 bonus points for sitting on the pole, so he might be able to get the 15 points here, but here comes Trent Dunham to ruin the party. Oh, it's going to be close, but I think Chris got it. Yeah, Chris Michaels got the lead right there. So he got those 5 points. As the pace car pulls out on the track, as everybody goes through the pace car. But 2 primary cars that were involved in that wreck, Sanford and Thoreau. But that was a lucky break for guys like Seth Cole and Dylan Young, who were falling back from not getting up to the field in time for the restart. Chris Michaels leads the way here at Tennessee, so let's take a look at the replay and see what brought the caution out for the second time today here at Tennessee. Well, here's a look at what happened. They were attempting 5 wide once again, and right there, Joshua Michaels going to come up into Dylan Thoreau, into Charles Sanford and Joshua Collard, but Collard managed to really get through. But I tell you, I think the driver that was very lucky was the 5 of Austin LaPlante. He was almost about to rear end the 82 of Joshua Michaels, and somehow, some way, got through unscathed. But Joshua Collard, after that little hit from both the 16 and the 03, managed to save it and keep it going straight. So 43 better thank his lucky rabbit's foot that he got through that wreck. Otherwise, he could have been in major trouble, and also trouble in the points. But man, oh man, that was close call, and luckily nobody got really severe damage in this. So I would expect these two to continue, but I don't think they're going to be able to contend for the win or not. In fact, let's take an onboard with the 5 of Austin LaPlante, because that was just incredible. On board with Austin LaPlante. This is going to be unbelievable. I have no idea how he did not get involved in that. That is incredible. Well, after that crash, no other cars out of the race, although Nick Gunther is officially done for the day, so it's unfortunate as to what, I don't know what happened to the 18. I guess it's going to be one of those mystery things I will never ever really truly find out. But more cars, the 4 cars that stayed out earlier, stay out once again. I don't know how they're making this on gas, but Sean Galligan is your leader. Second is Jessica Shelton. Third, Joshua Michaels. Fourth, despite having damage, Dylan Thoreau. Fifth is Chris Michaels. Sixth, Trent Dunham. Seventh will be Kyle Keith. Eighth, Johnny Gardner. Ninth, Preston Plord. 10th, JT Bryant. 11th will be Kyle Matthews. 12th, Jake Baskinger. 13th, James Qualls. 14th, Raphael LeDuc. 15th, Connor Morgan. 16th, Nathan Hudson. 17th will be Devin Becker. 18th, Kev Shearer. 19th, Benjamin Miles. 20th will be Tim Walsh. 21st will be Carson Gum. 22nd, Tanner Sullivan. 23rd, Nelson Thornhill. 24th, David Rivera. 25th, James McLeod. 26th, Dylan Poteet. 27th, Dorian Facepuncher. 28th, Chase Oliver. 29th, John Cittadino. 30th, Anthony McCrory. As the caution lights were back on for a second, and now they're back on. I guess actually 2 cars. Or wait a minute. I guess they sorted out the running order again. I guess actually those 4 were not the leaders, so now the running order is officially back in proper position. I don't know, what was that whole thing? Oh, they came in pitted. Those 4, the 40, 40, 02, 82, and the 16, all came in pit road, and it looks like the 16's damage is well repaired, so he might be able to stay up to speed. So the rest of the field, I believe I left off with John Cittadino. Then it would be Anthony McCrory, Joshua Collard, Sean Henley, Seth Cole, Austin LaPlante, Dylan Young, Sky Commons, Jonathan Zorline, Sean Galligan, Jessica Sheldon, Joshua Michaels, Charles Sanford, and Dylan Thoreau being the remaining drivers in the field running, at least. So after a little mishap involving the pace car lights, we're going to go back green this time. So it'll be 14 to go, past halfway, here at Tennessee Superspeedway in the Bojangles 500. As the cars are trying to get up to 80 miles per hour pacing speed and try to get bunched up as much as they can, but I remember the last time this happened, a few cars got slowed up in a big way, but I think they'll be able to get sorted out somehow, as they are almost done with the bunching up. They might be separated a little bit, but we'll see how it turns out. As 2 Stewart-Haas teammates, Chris Michaels, DJ Curtis, 1-2, to get things rolling here on lap 16. Into lap 17, green flag is back out. And already a challenge for the lead by DJ Curtis, going low underneath his teammate, and Trent Dunham and Kyle Keith trying to follow suit with Johnny Gardner, Preston Plord, among others. And again, more cars ended up getting left hanging after not bunching up in time. DJ Curtis leads 3 wide for the top spot on the racetrack. As JT Bryan looked to peak low underneath of the 2 Ganassi cars of Kyle Keith and Preston Plord, but couldn't quite make it work. As I see 2 Retro Racing Enterprise cars working together, Kyle Matthews and James Qualls working 4 wide for second. Raphael Leduc in the 27, the rookie out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, for Roush Racing. And oh, wait a minute! We got another wreck! Oh, this is the big one! James Qualls on his side! Huge impact, and this is the big one. Oh, and now who's that going upside down? That's Kyle Keith barrel rolling down the banking. Jessica Sheldon was involved. James McLeod, Sean Henley, Sky Commons, Sean Galligan, Carson Gum, looks like Nathan Hudson, Tim Walsh was involved. A lot of cars. Nelson Thornhill, the rookie, was involved. Caution immediately out after that. Devin Becker, last week's winner, was involved. And I think Joshua Collard, yeah, Joshua Collard, the points leader, was in it. This took out a lot of good cars. Raphael Leduc, I don't know if he got too bad a damage or not. Jake Baskinger, on the other hand, see his front end all crumpled up. Let's look at a different camera shot. Now it looks like Raphael Leduc, despite a tiny bit of rear end damage, I think he's okay. I think all he did was just get spun around. DJ Curtis got some damage on the right side. And Connor Morgan actually now inherits the lead after all that chaos. And speaking of the chaos, let's look and see what brought the caution out for the 3rd time today here at Tennessee. Well, here's a look at what happened. And it was 2 different portions happened. It was first, looks like Leduc is going to come up into JT Bryant and DJ Curtis, and that's what's going to start the James Qualls and Carson Gum portion of the wreck. And then you're going to see Qualls come back up into traffic, and after that hit from Baskinger, that's what sent Qualls' car on his side. And then right there, the 42 is going to end up getting boxed in. Same with the 7 of Nathan Hudson. And then we had more stuff happening from behind. I believe it starts with the 19 of Carson Gum after hitting Raphael Leduc a little bit. Comes up in the Collard and Walsh and Thornhill. And that's what's going to send all them up into the outside wall. James McLeod got through that wreck, but then right there gets into the 42. And that's what's going to send the 42 of Kyle Keith barrel rolling down the banking. I believe he goes over, yeah, there's 1, 2, about 2.5 times that car got sent flipping. And then what happens with the 41 and the 02? Oh, the 02 of Jessica Sheldon. Oh my goodness, those were vicious hits. The 41 of Sky Commons clobbers Nelson Thornhill, and then Jessica Sheldon would clobber Tim Walsh. See how fast they were going. 179 for Sky Commons, and then Jessica Sheldon, she started to hit the brakes, but then hit at 165. Those were some hard hits. And then after, Galligan, I forgot about Galligan. He's going to hit Nelson Thornhill again, Tim Walsh, and Nathan Hudson. And that's what got all that started. Man, it was almost like multiple wrecks colliding into one. There were some vicious hits given in that crash and crazy rides. Qualls going up on his side, Kyle Keith barrel rolling, but yeah, we can tell there's going to be a lot of cars out of the race after that, so let's go back to the restart here at Tennessee. Well, after that crash, surprisingly not a whole lot of cars out of the race, at least not right now, but there probably will be. But right now, the ones that are confirmed out are Carson Gum, Tim Walsh, but there is still quite a lot of cars on pit road that I think are going to end up retiring very, very soon. We just gotta wait and see the running order get updated. But it'll be 10 to go when we get to the line. The top 20 is Connor Morgan, the lead. Second, Kyle Matthews. Third, Chris Michaels. Fourth, Preston Plord. Fifth, Kev Shear. Then Trent Dunham, Johnny Gardner, Tanner Sullivan, Anthony McCurry, JT Bryant. Then it's John Cittadino, Chase Oliver, DJ Curtis, David Rivera, Dorian Facepuncher, Austin LaPlante, Benjamin Miles, Dylan Poteet, Rafael Leduc, Dylan Young. And green flag is back out. Connor Morgan with the lead. And a majority of the field managed to bunch up in time. Only a couple that are damaged did not. Connor Morgan led, but now here comes Kyle Matthews with the run to the inside. And now we got the official list of cars out. So right now, all the people out are Sky Commons, Kyle Keith, Carson Gum, Nathan Hudson, Tim Walsh, Nelson Thornhill, Jessica Sheldon, Sean Galligan, Nick Gunther, Steven Guerrero, and Matt Skoenberger. 31 cars left on the racetrack right now. But you can tell because of slow machines, they're getting very, very slow back here. James Qualls. Joshua Collard, I think, is the big victim of all this. He came in, he avoided a wreck in the caution before, but then ended up getting taken out and might end up losing the points lead after today. Depending on what happens with Tanner Sullivan, 15 points, but Tanner Sullivan right now is in one of those high point positions in the top 10. That's the thing with this point system. It's all about where you are on the track. If you're within the top 5 or so, you can get a lot more points than you would in the top 30. Because it's all divisible by different sections. And right now, Tanner Sullivan's trying to get in the high end, as right now he has the second spot. But now John Cittadino's going to take it from him, as Kyle Matthews has a big lead right now. But that's not really a good thing, because everybody can come right up to his back bumper. But Kyle Matthews does lead, and here comes a couple of the early leaders. Austin LaPlante in the 5 and David Rivera in the 6. And Austin LaPlante with possibly the greatest wreck avoidance I've ever seen in the history of NR. He somehow, some way, did not hit the 82 of Joshua Michaels or the 43 of Joshua Collard in that second caution and managed to keep going. And right now the Hendrick number 5 is running right on the back bumper of Kyle Matthews. Anthony McCurry, who's top 5 in points, trying to gain as much as he can. As right now, Austin LaPlante is staying tucked in line behind the 09, kind of trying to keep at bay between them two, so that way nobody else could come up and challenge for the lead, as now this pack has gotten very, very small. I believe it's only 15 cars, 15 cars left in the lead pack running up to speed. Connor Morgan trying to enter into that train, same with Trent Dunham. And then it's a battle for 5th between Kev Shearer and Chris Michaels. And now Connor Morgan's going to try and break up that train between the 5 and the 09 by running underneath the 5. As we look in the helicopter view to watch and see if he can manage to get in front of the 5. And Connor's going to get some help from Trent Dunham, so they're definitely going to get past the 5 car. But now Trent Dunham's going to split Connor Morgan to go for 2nd, and Kev Shearer, Chris Michaels have caught up. Meanwhile, Citadino and everyone else behind them are trying their best to get up there. But they may encounter lap traffic before the race is over. Devin Becker only running 162 miles an hour. Very, very slow. Meanwhile, David's going, or actually no, Kyle, he's going almost 200. And they're in the same shot, so any moment now, Kyle Matthews is going to get to the 84. As it's 5 to go here at Tennessee Superspeedway, and oh, Matthews got held up a bit. But now Becker's going to hold up the bottom, but Kev Shearer with the move to the high side takes the lead. And now they're going to try and split them, but Johnny Gardner and Chase Oliver have gotten held up, and that's split the pack a little bit. As Chase Oliver continues to get held up, and now he's going to finally go to the outside and make something work. But the top, I want to say top 4 have pulled away mostly. Dunham, LaPlante, Matthews, and Shearer. But they may encounter some more cars here before the race is over, as James McLeod and Seth Cole are running slow on the racetrack. Kyle Matthews trying to get a big run, and look at that run at the 09. God, and I don't know how he's 5 miles per hour faster than the 21. I don't know if the 21 got some damage from earlier and it's causing him to not be as quick. I don't know, but he's still managing. But Kyle Matthews back to the point as they have caught James McLeod. But Connor Morgan has caught back up to the lead pack as everybody else is trying to find their way back up into the fray. Chase Oliver was the unfortunate victim of getting held up and losing a lot of momentum. But now they've caught the 52 of Seth Cole, in which... And oh! Seth Cole turns! Trent Dunham turns Seth Cole around, and the caution is back out again, and I think that will end the race. Because I don't think they're going to be able to get back to green flag racing. Unbelievable. Although I think the caution came out after they got to the line, so pretty much this last lap is crucial for Kyle Matthews and Austin LaPlante, as now they're about to encounter Sean Henley. And Kyle's going to go low. Smart move for the 09 to try and make that work, but LaPlante's right there. As the pace car is waiting for the leaders to get to the line for 2 to go, and that would be the end of the race because of the caution. And Austin LaPlante isn't going for a move. Kyle Matthews led to the line. And now the pace car pulls out onto the racetrack. But man, that was a... I don't know about that. I don't know what Trent Dunham and Seth Cole were thinking in that moment. But I guess while we have this moment under caution, let's try to get before the white flag comes out to see what brought the caution out for the 4th and final time here today at Tennessee. Well, here's a look at what happened. Seth Cole was running just by himself, and Trent Dunham, for some reason, just runs into the 52. I mean, I don't know what Trent Dunham was thinking right there. I mean, I think there was plenty of room for him to potentially get around the 52. Some people might argue because the 5 was down there, he may not have been able to do anything, but there was about nearly 2 cars wide of length between... Yeah, there was plenty of room for the one to go low just a little bit to avoid the 52, but just ends up running over the 52 and turning him around. And then because of that, it cost everybody a shot at the win, and the caution came out at just that moment. And as a result, the 09 of Kyle Matthews may have won this race. So let's go ahead and take you to the white flag here at Tennessee. Well, no more cars were out of the race, but we are coming to the checkered flag here at Tennessee Superspeedway, and the first time this season, Kyle Matthews, 10th in points, is going to win the Bojangles 500 at Tennessee Superspeedway. Great race, but also a wreck fest at the same time. But it was mostly great racing all around. But Kyle Matthews gets a well-deserved win here at Tennessee Superspeedway. And let's look at the rest of the results. Austin LaPlante, who is one of the dominant cars of the race, comes out second here today. Great run for Connor Morgan in third, a much-needed run to try to get himself back into the top 30 in points. Anthony McCreary might be able to close in on the points lead as he came out fourth. Kev Shearer with a great run in fifth. Solid run in the sixth position for JT Bryant. Solid seventh place finish for Chris Michaels. Great run in eighth for Trent Dunham despite what happened to bring the caution out the last time. Tanner Sullivan in ninth. He may take the points lead after today. And then David Rivera with a great run in 10th. Rest of the top 20 was Dorian Facepuncher, Johnny Gardner, Preston Plord, John Citadino, Chase Oliver, Benjamin Miles, Joshua Michaels, Dylan Poteet, Dylan Thoreau, and DJ Curtis. Rest of the lead lap cars were Dylan Young, Rafael LeDuc, James Qualls somehow, after nearly flipping, Jonathan Zorline, Jake Baskinger, Charles Sanford, and somehow Joshua Collard managed to stay on the lead lap. And then the next four cars, I believe, finished a lap down. Ironically, most of them were Tweenix cars. Sean Henley, James McLeod, and Seth Cole, and then Devin Becker, last week's winner. Everybody else was out of the race after all the chaos, and they were Sky Commons, Kyle Keith, Carson Gum, Nathan Hudson, Tim Walsh, Nelson Thornhill, Jessica Shelton, Sean Galligan, Nick Gunther, Steven Guerrero, and Matt Skoenberger. Well, that does it for our coverage today here at Tennessee Superspeedway in the second race of the Tennessee trifecta. Next week, we go to Nashville Superspeedway, an intermediate track for the conclusion of the Tennessee trifecta. But until then, here are your results, rookie points and regular points heading into that race. And this is Levi McIntyre, signing off.